All right, welcome back to On the Ball, the video podcast series from the Vanderbilt Sports and Society Initiative. I'm Andrew Maraniss. Really excited today to have Jeremiah Armstead from Fisk University and Stephen Bernstein, who's joining us from what sounds like a really cool coffee shop in North Hollywood, California, who's been instrumental in Jeremiah's story. For those who don't know, Jeremiah was recently named the winner of the Perry Wallace Most Courageous Award from the United States Basketball Writers Association, which is a very prestigious award that organization has given for decades. Jeremiah is the first winner from an HBCU. So Jeremiah, congratulations on the award. First question I wanted to ask you is, how did you find out that you had received it, and what was that moment like for you? And you're on mute, just as a heads up.
Okay, so I was in New Orleans. We had a trip to New Orleans. We was playing Suno and Wiley. I mean, not Wiley. We went to Wiley first, then we went to New Orleans to play Suno. It was we got to the hotel. We put our stuff up, and then we came down to the lobby. They said everybody got to come to the lobby for a meeting. So we came downstairs, and then they basically, Mr. Scott Wallace told me that he was explaining to me how he put my name for a list for the Courage Award, and that he didn't think I was going to win it, but I actually did. And if you see my face in the video, like I didn't know anything. I didn't know that it was about me. I didn't know that I won the award. I didn't even know what the award was. So when he explained everything and let me know that I won the award, and I got tickets to the Final Four, and Final Four, that's top tier basketball. You ain't gonna, and I'm up close watching it, so that's a great experience. That's gonna be a great experience. I'm gonna be able to pick up and learn a lot. And it's all inclusive as well. So pay for the hotel, pay for everything, to stay and everything. So I'm excited to get out there and see how it is.
Yeah, that's tremendous. Well, congratulations. Perry Wallace is somebody that means a lot to me. I wrote a book about him many years ago called Strong Inside, which is a biography of Perry. He was from Nashville here too. I know that Perry, who's passed away now, would be so proud that there's a winner from Nashville, from Fisk, which is a university that meant a lot to him. He grew up in North Nashville. He had many relatives that attended Fisk University. So I know how proud he would be. You mentioned Mr. Wallace there at Fisk, who I believe is related to Perry.
Yeah.
And what have you been able to learn about who Perry Wallace was as a pioneer in the SEC? And what does it mean to you to be connected to him and his legacy in this way?
Yeah. So I know that he's the first Black collegiate athlete to play in the SEC. And that's just big because I go to Fisk. And Fisk got a huge background of a lot of the people that was in the sit-in went here, and Martin Luther King spoke here and everything. So that's like a huge historic background at Fisk. And then I won an award which is the Courage Award. And I done been through a lot of trials and tribulation, like just stuff that builds me from the ground up that I have experienced. So I feel like that's like, it's kind of came full circle because I didn't really know about Perry Wallace and what he did, but I won the award, and I won the award. That's just, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think, in winning the award, it's an opportunity not only to share your story with people, but again, to having a reason to tell Perry Wallace's story and the courage he had as a pioneer in the integrating the SEC in the 1960s. We'll come back to you, Jeremiah, but Stephen, you're out there in California, but you're a Fisk alum yourself. I know you played baseball there. You have a nonprofit organization in California that was instrumental in Jeremiah arriving at Fisk. So could you tell us a little bit about your nonprofit and how you were initially introduced or learned about Jeremiah's story?
Yeah, hi. I'm Stephen Bernstein. My nonprofit is called We Educate Brilliant Minds. I received a phone call one morning stating that there was a family that was out in the Long Beach area. Their son went to Long Beach Poly and played basketball, and they were interested in seeing if he can go to college. My nonprofit, we get a lot of inner city kids to HBCUs. I have almost 860 kids total now throughout the whole nation. This past 2 weeks at the Black College Expo, I just got 480 kids accepted to HBCUs. So I received a call from Sisters of Watts. I got their nephew a track scholarship in 2014 to run track, and so I had about 3 weeks to find a college to go to. So I had about 5 on a list. I think the final 2 was going to probably be Texas Southern or Fisk University. Since I went to Fisk, I reached out to my network at Fisk. Had him fill out all his financial aid. Met the family in person. We went over things, and we were on the horn. With all the brass to see, what we can do with his transcripts and try to find out how much money we can allocate to get him there. But as soon as I met him at an old precinct that's now opposite in Watts. So we talked over. He told me what he wanted to do. The mother said what they wanted to do, and then I told him, I would get him something. I didn't know at first it would be Fisk, but another Vanderbilt guy, Jens Fredrickson, I got on the horn with him. We discussed it, and then we figured it out, and then he became a Fisk guy.
That's great. I think Jens is he the provost at Fisk, I believe. And tell us more about your organization, Stephen. Like when you say you help these high school students apply and be admitted to HBCUs, financial aid aspect, like how do you raise money and what is the service that you're providing? How do you connect these students with the colleges?
A lot of them are leads. Since I was an athlete myself, I have relationships all over the nation. Not just California. I support kids in Detroit, Chicago, Miami, Philadelphia. A lot of inner city kids. Our alumni base is pretty powerful. A lot of them are educators, principals, superintendents, and me being an athlete myself, I was able to make relationships with people like Mike Oregon in Tennessee, and they would hit me up and say, "Hey, we got kids that want to go to HBCUs," and then I basically have relationships a lot on LinkedIn too with all the HBCU presidents and VPs. So sometimes I'll send 16 from Dorsey, 16 from Crenshaw, 16 from Fremont, and we actually try to put packages together to try to get kids in. My mission's a little different. My mission is I'm trying to help inner city kids that regularly have 2.5 to 2.8. I have access to go into all these projects here in LA, in Watts, Compton, Inglewood, to try to get these kids to be able to go to college. Unfortunately, in California, the PWI or the state California schools only accept 4% African Americans. So, it makes it easier for me to get these kids, even though it's far. Most of them are first generation college students, is to let them learn about the branding of HBCUs, how it works. And just for the Fisk, I just got 92 kids accepted 2 weeks ago to Fisk at one gathering. But I tell the story at Fisk is how my experience was. A lot of people know Jeremiah's story. And then we see what we can do financially for them. We reach out, do a lot of scholarships, a lot of grants with different organizations, and see if we can get them to these higher HBCUs of learning.
All right. And Jeremiah, back to you. I know that previous winners of this Perry Wallace Courage Award have come back from significant illnesses or injuries, or have stood up for social justice issues courageously. For those who aren't familiar with your backstory, tell us a little bit about your life and how you circumstances of that before you arrived at Fisk, and how you believe that played in to you being recognized for having, outstanding courage to be a winner of an award like this.
Right. So I was homeless for a good portion of my life. I was homeless. It really started to get bad once I got to California. I got to California. It was just hard to adjust. We was like sleeping at hotels, beaches, in the car, and like it was just hard to cope with like trying to go to class every day, play basketball, come home, I gotta sleep in the car. Or I gotta sleep at a beach or something like that. And that was every day for 4 years. So just stuff like that, it definitely builds character. Like I feel like a lot of the stuff that I've experienced and a lot of the stuff that like I know I wouldn't like I got real tough skin. So I wouldn't be able to know how to maneuver around a lot of situations if I didn't go through what I went through. So and I appreciate God for just I always appreciate God for helping me out and putting me on this journey because like it all builds character and it's all gonna help me in the long run. Like this is just the past and like everything that happened is just like the beginning of what I got going on for myself. Like even winning the courage award, that's all the beginning of like it's just the start of it. Like I got a lot more things that's gonna happen, a lot more I got in plan for myself and to help my family out as well. And I'm also very appreciative like we educate Brilliant Minds and Sisters of Watts. Those like the main people that got me out here. So yeah, without them, I didn't even think I was gonna go to college. So that's just I'm just very appreciative towards them.
Yeah, incredible. Well, I want to ask you about, I think that's a great way to look at it. This is just the beginning. One more question about the past. Like, how did you literally manage to study and do your homework to develop as a basketball player that's good enough to play in college, given those circumstances? Give us some insight into like how you manage that.
Um, Perseverance. I think like I've been to a lot of shelters. I lived in a lot of shelters. I've seen a lot of athletes that live in shelters and they couldn't do it. So just not wanting the same thing for my brother and sister and my mom, I think that's what made me like just go harder and like try to be one better for myself. And once I got the Fisk, like I just need an opportunity, really. Once I got the Fisk, um, once I got the Fisk, that's when everything really started to happen. Everything good started to happen. So
What has that experience been like for you at Fisk, moving from California to Nashville, being on campus of this historic university, playing for a former NBA star like Kenny Anderson, going to class? Like, how would you describe your life these days?
amazing, to be honest. Like I don't went on many trips that I didn't think I would be able to experience. Like for basketball, we went to the Virgin Islands recently. I never thought I would be able to even go to an island. Like the experience I had out there was the best experience I've ever had so far. So I think just to experience some of the things like that and like the Southern hospitality out here is real. Like I was born in Atlanta, but I grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, so I didn't get to experience like the Southern hospitality as much. And it's real out here. Like everybody was very welcoming and is still welcoming. I got a huge support bracket out here, like people that just want to see me succeed. So that's amazing. That's something I didn't have throughout high school, throughout my life, for real, for real. It was just me, my mom, my brother, my sister. That's all I really had. I really don't have any other family. I really don't have any other family. So I think I needed that support bracket. I definitely needed that. So I could have somebody to stay on me other than my mom, who is 2,000 miles away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned this just being the beginning of something. Like, what are you studying at Fisk outside of basketball? Like when you think about your future, what would you like to see yourself doing, in a few years from now, or even further down the road?
So I'm studying kinesiology at Fisk, which is like sports medicine, sports management, and everything. And I really want to, if basketball doesn't work out, I want to stay in that field of sports. But I also want to do stuff like with the community, which I got some stuff coming up that I'm going to do. So I want to do stuff that involves like going to shelters or passing out food and stuff like that, food drives, just stuff that I didn't have much of when I was homeless. So I want to give back and help other kids who are homeless. So, and that's definitely coming up soon. So I can't wait to see what that's about.
It sounds like you have something specific planned soon. What is that event that you have coming? And can people support it some way?
I can't really speak on it too much because it's not finalized yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when it is finalized, let us know. We'll help share that. Stephen, when you hear Jeremiah talk about how this experience at Fisk is changing his life and the vision that he has for his future, I imagine, with all the students that you're involved with, that you've experienced this before, this feeling of pride of your dream kind of working out. But what does it mean to you to hear Jeremiah talk about the way things are right now?
As soon as I met him, the first day, I can just tell he had a lot of heart, he had a lot of character, and he had a lot of passion, and he really wanted to go. Most of the kids that I inherit going, from the beginning, usually start in the 9th grade, and then we watch them blossom to see how they were going to do, if they're going to end up going to HBCU or a PWI. But he's a really tough kid. He's really strong. We've known everything that him and his family have overcome. And it's just so grateful for him winning the Perry Wallace Award. I was a big fan of Perry Wallace growing up. Like Jeremiah said, this is really social justice based. Diana Nash, I got to meet her. John Lewis, I got to meet him. I even protested when I was at Fisk in '88 for different social justice things and walked down Jefferson Street and D.B. Todd. But I knew Jeremiah would make it, and he's a good listener. He's really passionate, and he still wants to learn. And I'm glad that we have a lot of support in Nashville. People reach out and ask him about all the time. And in the beginning, the first day he even made it, I introduced one of my classmates to him, Billy Jackson, and he brought him like a comforter. For him to sleep. Yes, he made, I think when he made it like 12 or 1 in the morning. But then we were able to take care of Jeremiah's dorm and give him the necessary needs. And we have a lot of people still that try to help him and make sure that he's okay.
Stephen, if people are interested in learning more about your organization, how do they do that?
On my nonprofit website is www.weeducatebrilliantminds.org. On all the social media platforms also. Instagram, it's Educate Brilliant Minds. And then going forward, if anybody wants to donate to Jeremiah's cause, we can set that up at Fisk University. Or otherwise, you can contact me, and then I can do any, if they want to do any interviews or any donations to Jeremiah, we can set that up.
Well, that's great. Jeremiah, how is your family doing out in California?
I'm actually doing a lot better. My mom, brother, and sister recently moved into an apartment about 4 or 5 months ago. That's huge because for the past 2 years, even with all the coverage and everything we've had, they were still in a hotel. They've been in a hotel the past 2 years, and they finally was able to get a place they can call home. So I'm always appreciative towards everyone who's helped Sister the Watts, We Educate Brilliant Minds, Christine Devine, the news anchor. She's been a big role on all of this. So my brother and sister, my brother recently had 2 seizures about 4 months ago. It runs in my dad's side of the family. And it's been a very long time since he had something like that. So I feel like I just got to weigh the good with the bad. A lot of stuff happens for our family, good and bad. So I always got to appreciate God. I can't be mad when the bad stuff happens because I know He got so much more in store for us. My brother and sister actually on the 14th and 15th is going to be involved in a play that's going to be on the Jennifer Hudson show. So stuff like that is why like I don't hinder too much on the bad stuff that happens because I know God always has something more in store for us.
How do you sort of think about, like, you've been featured in various news stories over the years, even before winning this award. You win the award now, and people are interested in talking to you about your life. Your sisters, be on Jennifer Hudson's show.
Mm-hmm.
Yet your family, I mean, is still dealing with like significant issues in terms of like staying housed and like the awards don't pay bills or buy food and things like that, right? So I mean, is that these issues are still very much on your mind and just as important as ever to your family, despite the coverage that you're getting? Hopefully the coverage leads to people continuing to support your particular case, but also other students maybe coming from similar circumstances that Stephen's organization is dealing with. But like, do you ever think about that, like that difference of like, yeah, it's great we got this story, but like we still need help
Definitely
supporting this apartment?
I didn't even understand like for a good minute. Before we got the apartment, I didn't understand why like we wasn't getting all the help we should have got with the coverage. But I just think that all comes with timing, like everything can't happen so fast like that. It takes time for stuff to change. And I understand that now. Seeing that stuff is changing. I understand that now. So I'm just waiting for whatever God got next for me. I'm just waiting for it. I'm a big believer in God. So.
Okay. It seems like it will be an exciting time to be a student athlete at Fisk. A lot going on there. Your team had a good season this year. The gymnastics team, the first HBCU women's gymnastics team, and new athletic director, Valencia Jordan. Like, do you feel like you're part of like a program that's on the rise right now?
Definitely. Like, that's why I'm so excited and looking forward to next year because I'll actually be able to help out a lot more with the team and everything. I'm young right now. I'm only 19, and I really recently just started playing basketball. My first year of organized sports was my senior year, which was varsity basketball. I was ineligible from my freshman, sophomore, and junior year because the moving around. I've been to 7 different high schools, so I was ineligible those 3 years. Couldn't play any basketball. So basketball is all a rhythm thing and experience. So I'm catching my rhythm and getting experience. And my coach, which is Kenny Anderson, he's seeing it and he's in my corner heavy right now. And he's letting me know like next year's my time. And I really couldn't understand that because I was getting a lot better in a short amount of time. But that's just how basketball is, And not everything is going to happen at once for me. And I understand that. So next year is going to be a huge year. It's going to be something to see.
Well, I think that you're probably in a great situation with Kenny Anderson, who not only being a great player, but has been through his own trials and tribulations in life and understands what it means to be persistent and to have that courage that you've been recognized with in this award. So just want to congratulate you on the award, to share your story with more people. Stephen, thank you for bringing this to my attention, and also for what you do for so many students through your nonprofit organization. Wish the best to both of you. Jeremiah, I've got a new version of the book about Perry Wallace that's coming out tomorrow, and I'll be sure to get a copy over to you at Fisk, assuming that's legal from NCAA, or I guess you're NIA, so we'll figure out. I'm sure it's fine. We'll get a copy over there, and just congratulations. Have a great time at the Final Four, and all the best to you.
Thank you so much. It was a great interview. I enjoyed my time speaking with you.
Me too. All right. Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome.